Hey guys, I wanted to talk today a little bit about fire safety, and I'm not talking about that little button on your hunting rifle. I've spent most of the day in my tree stand trying to get a deer, didn't see anything. In the times that I wasn't there, I had my radio on, and I've just kind of been listening to the just general emergencies that have been happening throughout the county. I've heard a lot of, fires. There's been several of them today where people, I assume they were out burning leaves. The fire got away from them and moved to a field or moved to somebody's house. I want to talk a little bit about that. I like to think that it's common sense, though we all know that common sense isn't very common anymore. If it's excessively windy outside, don't burn. If you haven't taken the time to build a solid perimeter, at least 4 foot wide, but probably bigger than that would be recommended. A lot of people say 10 foot. Don't burn. Even if you burn your trash. I know it's technically illegal to do here in Arkansas, but I ain't gonna tell on you. Burning your trash. Have some way to keep those embers from flying up and getting into the leaves. Just anything to keep the fire from spreading. These windy days are horrible for burning. If you can avoid it, don't do it. Make sure you've got a rake on hand. Make sure you've got a source of water. Make sure you've got a fire extinguisher. If you're not real certain about it, call your local fire department. I know here where I'm at, that's a little difficult. I've been calling them for the last 2 weeks and I haven't gotten a single answer. So, of course, I'm not calling 911. It's not an emergency. I'm just trying to get in touch with them so maybe I can get in the door and help them. They won't return my call. They won't answer the phone. So I'll deal with that whenever I get to it. If you can avoid burning, do so. We had those 2 really cold days. It was like 22 degrees. And then summer comes back in like an angry wife yelling, "And one more thing." Sorry, bipolar joke there, but I get that it's warm out. You want to try to get the last little bits of things done before it gets cold and you don't want to be outside. I believe me, I fully get it. I've got a ton of stuff to do out there. Just be careful about your fires. You don't want them to get out of hand, especially when we're so short-staffed around here. We only have so many resources to be so many places. And today alone, I've heard at least 7 different fires in 7 different places. And while there are multiple departments, they're stretched pretty thin, especially when it takes 2 to 3 departments to handle one. That's about all I'm going to talk about for outdoor fires. As we get into the cold weather, some of us have either a wood-burning stove or a fireplace. You want to be careful about your fire there as well. You don't want it to jump out of whatever you're burning it in and light your house on fire. Likewise, you don't want to get it so hot that you catch your walls on fire. Doing a chimney sweep's a good idea. I would recommend that here in these next few days while it's still warm. In fact, I'm going to be doing that myself. Just try to knock out some of that aerosol, that way it's not going to catch on fire, and then you've got a flue fire or chimney fire. One thing that you should already have, if you don't, is some sort of fire retardant pad. It's going to, any of those embers or pieces of burning wood that fall out, they'll sit there on that. It's usually a metal laminate type of thing. Basically extinguish the fire before it can spread anywhere else. I don't know how your house is set up, but here at mine, we've got a wood burning stove that's about 4 foot from the corner. It's a log cabin, so we had to be extremely careful about how much heat will radiate off that stove and get to the walls. And now that the stove's up there, and I've had it pretty hot a couple times, it's probably no danger. One thing you can do if you can't find any more of those fire retardant boards or any type of thing meant to protect your walls, go down to the local hardware store and get you a piece of sheetrock. It's rated for extreme temperatures, both hot and cold. It's not going to burn very well. I don't know if you've ever tried to burn sheetrock, but it doesn't burn too well at all. But I put that sheetrock up on the inside of the logs, and it just protects the logs from the fire if it ever gets too hot. That's about all I'm going to talk about today. I hope you guys are staying safe out there. March 3rd, if you wouldn't mind, give me a vote for constable. Maybe I can officially do some of this stuff since people don't want to return my calls. Anyway, you have a good day.